Hi, I'm Peter Tragos, host of the Lawyer You Know podcast and YouTube channel. The saying goes, everyone hates lawyers until you need one. Well, I'm here when you need one to answer your questions and give you insight that you didn't know you needed. Along with my partners, Pete Sardis, the professor, who has a finance and business background, and George Tragos, my dad, and the consigliere, a criminal defense giant, we can answer any questions you have. What's up, everybody? We're back at it today. It's Peter Tragos, the lawyer you know, and we have more LIV golf discussions to have because we have one golfer who has dropped out of the lawsuit, and we have another golfer who has filed a separate individual lawsuit against the Golf Channel and one of the reporters for defamation surrounding their discussions about this particular golfer and the LIV Golf Tour. But before we get into that, I had to sport one of my new golf shirts here from the old course in St. Andrews from a subscriber named Vivian. Thank you, Vivian, for sending me this. I actually have played this course. I know it's beautiful. I know it's the best. I have a shirt from there, and it is bright red. This one is blue. Great to add to the repertoire of golf shirts from all of the subscribers. You guys are too kind and too generous, and it is a lot of fun to continue wearing new golf swag here from courses literally all over the world. So we're going to start with Pat Perez, who is a funny, big personality, shoe collecting, Vegas type of golfer, car collecting, really big personality, really funny guy. He has dropped out of the lawsuit, the antitrust lawsuit from a bunch of the LIV golfers against the PGA Tour. And he said he basically didn't really think it through. He did it to back the LIV Tour guys. He is a LIV Tour guy 100%, but he has no ill will towards the PGA Tour, towards the players. And he even said, I might want to go back and play on the senior tour if I'm allowed to, but I realize I'm done with the with the PGA Tour at this point. I knew what I was getting into when I joined the LIV Tour. I knew I was not going to be able to come back to the PGA Tour. So I think that could be kind of damning for some of the other plaintiffs, especially if they have their depositions taken and they say, what did you think was going to happen when you joined the LIV Tour? Did you know you were forfeiting the PGA Tour? Now, I think the other side of that coin is we thought it was wrong. We thought it was illegal from the jump. We never thought that that was going to be able to be approved, legally speaking, but we did want to play for the LIV Golf Tour. And just like this other golfer who filed an individual lawsuit, it was to spend more time with our family. It was for better business opportunities. That's why we did it. We should have been able to do it. Well, Pat Perez said, I knew what I was getting into. I'm out. I'm not in this anymore. I don't want to do anything to hurt the PGA Tour. They gave me a great career. I made a lot of money. I made a name for myself because of the PGA Tour. And you'll see that this may put some pressure on some of the other plaintiffs in that case. And his statements are going to be used in depositions, I think, if we get that far, for the plaintiffs that are playing for the LIV Golf Tour right now. And we see why a lot of those other golfers did not want to join this lawsuit from some of the sentiments that Pat Perez is sharing with us now. But to the more interesting point of contention or news point here is Patrick Reed. Let me know in the comments, when I say Patrick Reed, what is your first thought? Because I think some of you may say Captain America, and some of you may say dirty cheater, because he has kind of multiple reputations in the golf world. And that is kind of what this lawsuit is about. It's Patrick Nathaniel Reed v. Brandon Chamblee and the Golf Channel, LLC. And it is a lawsuit for defamation. Okay, let's scroll down here and see the causes of action. 7th cause of action. There's a million causes of action, but it's basically defamation, defamation per se, defamation by implication, defamation, and then conspiracy between the Golf Channel and Brandon Chamblee. We're not going to read the entire complaint today. I wanted to point out some quotes because it's pretty wild. It's a little bit embarrassing. That was kind of my first feeling when I read this, is I'm a little embarrassed for Patrick Reed. Great golfer. I am not one to hate the heel. Like, I like watching him. I think it's funny. I like watching him on the Ryder Cup. I like the hate from other people and want him to win for America and all that. I'm not too bothered by it. I do think he's done some questionable things based on some video evidence in some golf tournaments that, because it's such a sport of dignity and honor and self-reporting and self-policing, basically, that maybe he took advantage of that once or twice and he's gotten penalized for it. But I don't think he's this big cheater trying to ruin the game personally. If you do, that's fine. That's why I asked you to comment what your first thought is when I say the name Patrick Reed. But it's a little bit of an embarrassing complaint, in my opinion, because he starts out with background facts about what a great college golfer he was, which is true, how he was the youngest golfer, even beat Tiger Woods' record for youngest golfer. That was won the World Golf Championship. He's been representing the United States of America 8 times, Ryder Cup, President's Cup, Olympic Games. He was even nicknamed Captain America. And then when they go to take shots at defendant Chambly, they say, oh, he was a former pro golfer, but was never as good as Patrick Reed. That to me is just kind of embarrassing. Additionally speaking, they go through some of the comments about him, and he had to actually put this down in the record. First off, these induced the things that Chambly and Golf Channel said about Patrick Reed. These induced personal attacks. And then look at all this. You suck, you coward, you POS, dig a grave, bury yourself. Everyone hates you, cheater. Beat the cheater. Sorry, you have to cheat. Who did you piss off? You know, all this stuff. All this stuff, just nasty comments. And then they talk about, in conjunction with Patrick Reed, connecting with the LIV Golf Tour. And I did see a lot of this, right? I consume some of this news. I am a consumer of golf, the Golf Channel, watching golf tournaments, reading about golf news. And actually, Rob from Law and Lumber sent me this complaint and said, please tell me you've seen this Patrick Reed complaint. I hadn't seen it. I read it. So see, it's coming from people in the YouTube world, but this one wasn't a subscriber necessarily. It was from Rob from Law and Lumber, somebody who we've collabed with in the past and we need to collab with in the future talking about golf, if our schedules can align. But he sent me this, and man, it is just so embarrassing. And he talked about how he lost sponsorships and he's lost opportunities. But most importantly are some of these quotes. So if they're aligning themselves with the tyrannical, murderous leader, if you look at who MBS is, centralizing power, committing all these atrocities, you look at what he's doing to the citizens of his country. Ask yourself if you would have played for Stalin or for Hitler or for Mao. And he just goes into how he's basically playing for Hitler now. And of course he would, and he thinks Patrick Reed would. They're destroying the game. They think some of these guys that are involved should be kicked out of the Hall of Fame. They're playing for blood money. Either way, it guarantees if it's, if the money is guaranteed or not, it's still blood money. You're complicit in sports washing. Now that he's continued in his subterfuge, he could end any threat, presumably from the Saudi blood money league, by forcing this super golf league, handing back the players their media rights. They're coming from the wrong place. Evil is usually false, so it will fail. I mean, some nasty words, obviously, and some strong threats and some strong words. Saddest day in golf history. They're so self-serving, greedy, self-interested, willfully blind. This is the type of stuff. So a lot of this was not in the LIV Golf players' antitrust lawsuit or the PGA Tour's response. So that's why I did want to look at some of the things people are saying. They say they're growing the game. It's making me want to puke. They're destroying their reputations. The way people are taking shots at these players is pretty nasty, right? I texted these players. I think it's so horrible what Patrick Reed is doing, violating the unwritten code in so many ways. There's a difference between law and morality. And this is when they get into calling him a cheater, right? And some of you may have said that when I asked you to comment. Ask yourself this: if everybody in the field were to conduct themselves around golf in this manner, would it be good for the game of golf? It would not be. It would call into question every single movement or drop that every single player would be making. It would cause an uproar on the PGA Tour. And he comments on some specific videos where he flat out calls him a cheater, says he always cheats. He's digging under the ball to give himself a better lie. He's been penalized multiple times. Patrick Reed lawyers kind of respond by saying he was only a 2-stroke penalty. He wasn't kicked out of the tournament. It wasn't ever called willful, so that's an absolute lie. And they're kind of going back and forth on some nasty facts like this of what people are saying about Patrick Reed. Here is some of that. So flagrantly broke the rules. Look, they made a deal with the devil when they put Patrick Reed on this team. They thought whatever darkness he would bring to the team would be an offset by his competitive fire. I think they're talking about the Ryder Cup at this point. This was flagrant. No camera angle you could look at it. Anybody in the golf world who watches this repugnant video, and anybody in the world of golf, as far back as the game goes, as its inception, is what you do not want to. You don't want to improve your lie. It's not a new rule. It's been in existence a long time. The fact that he thinks there's no intent, I think his ego is as big as Jupiter. This is going to follow him around like the video of Nixon saying, "I'm not a crook." Okay. And one point his lawyers actually say, I mean, come on, saying this about the LIV Golf Tour players would be like saying LeBron James is playing for the blood money of China. And it's something that we talked about in the LIV tournament. I mean, the LIV Golf Tour complaint. So to me, this just solidifies the battle that's going to happen in the media between the LIV Golf Tour players and the Golf Channel and the PGA Tour and everybody that's in traditional golf. It's all of them against the LIV Golf Tour and those LIV Golf players. And they are going to make statements like this. And this is the first defamation lawsuit like it. And I will say Patrick Reed probably has more negative things said about him in the media than anybody else. Maybe some of it deserved, maybe some of it overboard. But with defamation, and this is what we said, everybody's gone kind of crazy since the Johnny Depp case. Defamation is very difficult to prove, because if this is defamation, then every reporter at ESPN and CBS and Fox can get sued for making comments just like this. They can see a video and say, we think he's cheating. That's not necessarily factually false. That is an opinion. That is a constitutionally protected opinion. If this guy thinks Patrick Reed is evil and he's a cheater and he shouldn't be on the Ryder Cup and he's good, go to the LIV Golf Tour where it's the Saudi blood money, those are all opinions. And I really don't think he's going to be able to prove that this is defamation of any sort. But if something changes and there is some facts that Brandon Chambly, like in the Cardi B case, like if he's saying something he knows to be false to hurt Patrick Reed, then fine. But when I read this complaint, I see a sports commentator commenting on an athlete, calling him a cheater, saying he doesn't like him, calling him dirty, saying he wants him out of the game, saying there's no place for how he acts. And to me, unfortunately, that's fair game. And I shouldn't say unfortunately because I want opinions to be protected by the Constitution, but I don't think you should trash people like this personally. I don't think you should do it for money. I don't think you should do it for clicks. So I agree with Patrick Reed's lawyer there where he says he was just doing this for clicks and it's not great. But unfortunately, this is what the world wants to see, and what they watch and what they look for is for sports commentators and political commentators to be kind of nasty to the other side. And as far as I'm concerned, legally, it seems like it's fair game. And a lot of the stuff put in this complaint, I think, is a little bit embarrassing for Patrick Reed. But this shows the litigation is not over between these golfers and the PGA Tour, the Golf Channel, the LIV Golf Tour. A lot of golfers are going to be involved before all this is over. And the LIV Golf Tour just keeps adding to its arsenal. Cameron Smith is coming over and maybe even some others. So we'll keep an eye out for that. I've also heard we're uncovering or unveiling or unsealing some of these LIV Golf contracts, which we'll talk about. Some people told me in the comments, no, there's no way they're drawing against any of these contracts. Well, I have read that some of them actually do have draws that when they win, it draws from whatever their signing bonus is. So we may find out more of that in the future. If you enjoy this content, hit that like button and let me know in the comments. Subscribe to our page if you don't already, but let me know what content you're here for. And if it's for LIV Golf and for the PGA Tour and this litigation, let me know by liking the video. So until next time, thanks for joining. Thanks for watching this episode of The Lawyer You Know. If you like this content, please share it with your friends. Make sure you subscribe to our page and like our videos. If you want some interaction, get in the comments and we'll be sure to get back to you. If you want to know any more information about our firm or this page, you can find out in the description or visit tragoslaw.com. We post multiple times throughout the week, so make sure you hit that bell so you can get the notification and not miss out on the next episode.